In this video, we will be discussing what a proxy server means, why you need a proxy server, and the benefits and importance of using a proxy server, and why you should have your data encrypted through a VPN. What is a proxy server? A proxy server is a router or system that provides a gateway between users and the internet. In other words, a proxy server retrieves data from a web page. For example, when a computer wants to view a web page on the internet, you have to open up a web browser and then type in the address and retrieve the web page from its web server. So, when you go through a proxy server, the proxy server performs the function of a middleman and retrieves that web page for you. A proxy server also helps prevent cyber attacks from entering a private network. Remember that it is a server known as an intermediary because it goes between end users and the web pages they visit online. When you connect your computer to the internet, it uses an IP address. This address will appear somewhat similar to your home street address. It tells incoming data where to go and marks outgoing data with a return address for other devices to authenticate. In a nutshell, a proxy server is simply a computer on the internet that has its own IP address. Benefits of using a proxy server. Now that we have understood what a proxy server really is, the next thing is to know why you need to use a proxy server. Well, we should know that a proxy has several benefits. Now, let's take a look at some of these benefits. 1. Privacy. Having a privacy feature allows you to surf the internet anonymously. This allows your IP address to be hidden. Failure to use a proxy while visiting a website makes your public address visible, and people will know the particular website you are visiting. However, when you use a proxy, it becomes impossible for people to see your IP address as it becomes invisible. The reason is that, as the proxy server retrieves the web page for you, only the IP address of the proxy server can be seen while viewing the web page. This makes your IP address stop being visible, and then the proxy IP address does the rest of the work. 2. Speed. Everyone needs high speed when surfing the net, and going for anything less may not be a good idea. For example, if an organization uses a proxy server and when a user wants to retrieve a web page, the proxy server retrieves the web page from the internet on the user's behalf. After that, it stores the web page in a centralized cache database. If another user uses a different computer to visit a web page stored in the proxy database, the proxy server may not go out on the internet to retrieve the web page. All it does is retrieve it from the database and then send it to the user. So this makes the web page retrieval much faster. 3. Reduction in the load times. This is based on the fact that proxy servers can cache data. Once they have access to specific web pages, they can always store them for later. This means when a user requests a cached page, they can display it faster to the user. However, this only happens if the proxy server already has the web page you requested in its local cache. Otherwise, then it has to request it from the internet, which means there may not be faster load times. 4. It saves bandwidth. This is so because the proxy server does not give you all the need to go out on the internet to retrieve data. As long as the data is stored in the database, it reduces the need to retrieve the data on the internet. 5. Activity logging. Many organizations or financial institutions use a proxy to keep track of what websites their employees are surfing. A proxy server is beneficial because of constant activity logging. When an employee surfs the internet, the proxy keeps a record of the particular website he's visiting and how long he's been on the website. Also, a company may decide to configure the proxy to block or restrict certain websites to make their employees not visit them. 6. Malicious websites can be filtered out. Another major benefit of a proxy server is the fact that it is always more accessible for the admin to block users from accessing websites that appear to be somewhat dangerous. It might sound contrary to your intuition initially. Still, You should understand that if the admin realizes that a particular website contains phishing links or malware, he may decide to prevent proxy users from unknowingly or accidentally accessing it. If you also land on a malicious website, any malware it contains would infect the proxy instead of your device. It's a two-way thing. Well, even if you think a proxy server can do all, there's still one notable thing it can't do, which is to encrypt data as you surf the internet. Therefore, when there is unprotected data, that particular data can be intercepted by hackers, governments, or ISPs with the proper equipment. Now, this is where Virtual Private Network comes in. A VPN has everything it takes to hide your IP address, but that's not the only thing. It also encrypts the data transferred between your computer and the internet, which a proxy server cannot do. In this sense, any activity you execute on the internet, like transferring files or viewing web pages, the data is encrypted and remains private when using a VPN. A VPN can prevent web browsers and others from accessing your connection. It also helps you keep the information you send and receive safe and secure. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.